Bosses, welcome to the July training. This is truly going to be a transformational month for us all. I do not have the team member in here. It is late, and I am working on getting your trainings done tonight. And as per usual, we've had a few little hiccups. So I am not at home. We are away. We're going to be gone for the next 30 days. Trying to take a mini sabbatical. I have my grandchildren. My daughter's in the hospital. She went into labor early. My son went into the hospital into a really bad car accident earlier in the month. And it is the 1-year anniversary month of my father's passing. So lots and lots are going on. And I'm suffering from tendonitis in both knees. So as you see me struggle to get comfortable, that is what this is all about. And I know I'm usually on the floor, and I actually would be today. I brought with me on this journey some beautiful, beautiful, wonderful things to help me recreate the Priestess Palace. However, in the countryside that we're in, there's a lizard in my room. No Priestess Palace today. I'm not doing that. So, a lot of great things are happening here in the lounge. All of these wonderful new features are being added. All of this really great content from previous programs, and some exclusively for this program is now officially part of this Alignment Boss coaching. So Alignment Boss coaching is going to be, and has been, one of my signature group coaching programs on staying in alignment. Right? And I think I told you last month about the new program launching, which is about manifesting using your divine energy. And so that is going to be my signature manifesting program. And it is also a group coaching program. So I really encourage you guys to get involved in that program. If you want to get involved, you can get 10% off until October 1st to get in as an ambassador. It's only $1,000. So check that out. Now, today's training is on changing your belief system. And I've had to redo this video a couple of times because of glitches and calls and other things that are happening in my world. So, and one of the takes, okay, there's a story I wanted to tell you, right? So we went on a trip, and we were renting a home for like 45 days, and we were told that it had no internet because the bill was exorbitantly high, and it was like, well, this is where we need to be. I will just call in another company and get internet. So I'm doing that, and I'm not getting return phone calls. I can't get through. They say they offer service there, but then they don't. And so there's like all of this crap going on around it. And every time I make a motion, and it's like the days are ticking away, right? Because I have to have this by the following Monday. And I think I started probably on Monday. And I needed to have it all in place by the following Monday. Internet service, like who would have thought, right? So I am going through the process, but I'm having this physical response. Like I can physically feel the resistance every time I am attempting to get internet service. long story short, come to find out, I got to the point where I was almost in tears. Like, I cannot function. My kids need this. Like, this is such a basic necessity. It's not even a luxury any longer. This is a necessity. Why is this so hard? Blah, 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 blah. And then I just fucking surrendered, right? I surrendered. And come to find out, in surrendering, it was like, go back to your very first thought. My elbows are ashy. Okay, so anyway, I go back to my very first thought, which was to ask the owner of the house how much the bill was, work something out, get the bill paid, and it was a win-win for everyone. I had avoided that because I felt like, you know, they probably don't really want me in my business, they probably really don't want to share the bill situation, blah, blah, blah. And so I avoided my intuition and my first thought. As I proceeded with another idea, I could physically feel this resistance. It was uncomfortable. Making the calls were uncomfortable. I was just not happy with this whole situation. So, I surrendered, and then it turned out that they thought service had been interrupted. Service had not been interrupted. The internet was already in place, and the bill was half as much as what they thought. Right? So, problem was solved, and the resolution came from my surrender. And I tell you that, and I want you to know that, because surrender is very much a key component in training number 2 for this month. But also part of that, and also part of why I am here, is because I am discovering that there are still a lot of beliefs that I need to change, right? So today's topic, we're going to be talking about how to change a belief. But this is not a challenge, because I don't like the word challenge. This is an expansion, right? I believe that the challenge is, oh, I think you can't do it. And I believe that expansion is, I do believe you can do it, and you're going to grow as you do this. So I am going to expand you into the idea of changing beliefs out of contrast. So let me just tell you a funny story. And I told you, did I just tell you, did I already just tell the story? Like, I've had to record this more than once. So there is a lizard in my Priestess Palace space. So not only am I recording up here tonight, I will be sleeping here. So, and here's one of my plant ideas. I snagged the plant. It was by the stairs. So anyway, contrast. Okay, so I'm here. Part of what I'm doing is working through my grieving process and allowing myself to grieve. And there are things that I know about death, and there's things that I thought that I believed about death, right? And believed about passing over. And come to find out that this contrast of my father passing over has shown me that there are things that I know about passing over, but I don't hold them all as beliefs. And it is important for me to hold them as beliefs, because that will relieve the contrast that I am experiencing. So in this expansion process that we're going to do this month, I want you to think about scenarios like the one I shared about the internet, where I was having this I could physically feel the resistance. It was painful. The thought of calling, the thought of waiting, when people would answer the phone and ask me, what's the address? You know, I have to get the paper out to read the address, because it's not my address, right? And give them my name, and they want my email. And like, one company was like, so what are you going to do with the internet? Fucking surf the web. Like, what do you mean? I'm gonna be Zooming, I'm gonna be, you know, we're gonna live stream. Oh, how many people are what does it matter? I just want the biggest internet package you fucking have. Just give it to me. But we have to ask these questions. Like, all of it was just, it was killing me. It was killing me. There was so much resistance from me in it, right? And so I want you to go back and look at like your last 2 or 3 situations where there was high resistance, right? Like you were not happy. You could feel a great deal of resistance in this situation. I want you to go back to those situations and look at how your belief about the situation caused the contrast. Or better yet, how a change in your belief could have given you a faster resolve, a smoother resolve to that situation. So for me, I was holding the belief that this person would be uncomfortable and I would be pushing my luck if I were to ask them about their personal bill and just try to get, call the company and get the bill paid. That was my belief about it. And I held that belief so tightly that I spent a week fighting resistance from the universe and everyone else, trying to make something else happen because of my belief, when in fact, if I just surrendered and been willing to change my belief, we would have had that internet a lot sooner, right? In doing this work for myself and practicing it, so I've done how to change your belief multiple times, right? How to change a belief, a negative belief to a positive belief, how to do that. There's probably a training from a month ago, a year ago, or whatever on this topic. But I want you to take this concept of changing a belief and use it regarding situations of contrast in your life. So, with my father passing, I know that there is only an expiration on this physical vessel that we use to have this 3-dimensional experience on this planet in this dimension, right? And that we are eternal and that there really is no death. I know that. I struggled with that when my father passed, from knowing it and holding it as a belief. That's when I discovered I wasn't holding it as a belief. I was holding it as just knowledge. It was just knowledge. It was not a belief. So, I'm using this process to change what I know into what I believe. Right? And that's what we're going to do today. So here's the steps. What is the belief? So here's something else I discovered in my journaling was that when my father passed, my income plummeted last July. And I wouldn't even do videos. Like I was really, really in a dark, sad place. And I felt disconnected from him and all that kind of stuff. So now that I'm examining that contrast that I felt last year, what I realized was that I held a belief that situations with my family, my parents, my children, my boyfriend, directly affect how my business flows. So there was a contrast, and then I realized as I examined the contrast, and I'm examining, really was way more about how things played out, with my father. But other things came up, right? So that was a belief that I held. So I'm going to use that one as an example that, my children's situation, life situations, life changes, life emergencies affect the flow of my business. So number one, you write down what the negative belief is. And for you, this is a negative belief coming out of a contrasting situation. So, because ultimately what I want you to see is that if you are willing to see things differently, if you are willing to surrender, if you are willing to see things from your higher self's perspective, there is no contrast. You are still alive. You are still manifesting. And you are learning. And the experience is working in your favor. So, on the first page, you take the first belief, right? The situations, my children's situations, family situations, and my own emotional upset affects the flow of my business. So step 2 on the next page is this ultimately true, right? Well, no. It's not really true. Like, my son going into the trauma ICU is not really what affected my business. It was my response to it, right? It was my attachment to it. It was the value that I put on it. He's perfectly fine, by the way. You know, I wouldn't say perfect fine. There was damage, but he is healing through it beautifully, and is home and is recovering nicely. But how I respond to it is really the issue. So ultimately, my family having drama, my grandmother getting sick across, way across the country, my aunts fighting, my kids being selfish or not doing and making the decisions that are best for them, my children needing to be bailed out of dumbified scenarios, me needing to move, me arguing with my boyfriend, none of those things truly affect my business. It is my emotional response, my emotional shutdown, and I'm thinking this through because I'm actually working through this with you. It is my lack of action. It is my delay in realigning that's affecting my business. So ultimately, that's not true. It's not true. My boyfriend being an ass, my kids doing stupid shit, my kids going into the hospital, do not ultimately affect the flow of my business and its income, right? So, and I do have these as notes, and I will write these questions out for you, and I don't have them now because, like I said, in my room where we're staying, there's a lizard, and their staffing people won't be out till sometime tomorrow to get it. So, I'm staying up here. Anyway, so now I kind of say, this prayer, source, higher self, God, universe, whatever word is for you, right? Help me see this differently. Show me how to see this differently. How can I see this differently? I am willing, I surrender, and I'm willing to see this differently because I know that ultimately this is not true. So now I've said my prayer. What is true? What is true? What gets to be true for me regarding this situation? No matter what is happening in my life, the flow of financial abundance does not stop. I am a digital course creator, a manifesting priestess. I am a goddess, and I combine the practical and the spiritual, which produces the snowball effect of financial abundance in my life, right? So what's true for me is that no matter what's happening, whether I am in the bed having orgasms, whether I'm in the hospital holding my daughter's hand during labor, whether I am feeding my son soup after an accident, whether I am mourning the loss, the physical loss of someone that I adored. Money does not stop. So then that becomes my new affirmation and mantra. Mantra because I'm going to say it with feeling. I'm going to say it till it is, I'm one with it, till the feeling of it is merged, right, with every cell of my body. And when you say it and you say it and you say it and you say it with feeling, you say it with feeling, you say it and you feel it, and then you feel it and you feel it and you feel it, and then you believe it, and it's in your beliefs. So ultimately, that is how you change your belief system. And it may take you a month, the whole month, to change one belief. And then next month, you may be able to change 2 beliefs in that same month. And then you may be able to change negative beliefs that you didn't know you have that come up. Like, we talk about money a lot, but I have some negative beliefs that I'm discovering in regards to relationships. Who knew? I am redefining relationships on my terms, right? And I'm doing it how it feels good for me. And I'm also learning that in some of those areas, I thought that's what I was doing. But what was really happening is that I was guarding myself from these negative beliefs that I had. So I really wasn't living on my terms. I was guarding myself based on beliefs that I had gotten from someone else about a relationship, or that I had developed due to someone else about a relationship. So this is a process that you do and you do and you fucking do and you fucking do and you do and you do and you do until you are no longer changing a lot of the old baggage, and you are simply having to address things as you level up, because there's always going to be contrast, right? And as you level up and you move to new situations, then you are going to find that you need to redefine your belief systems. And the other thing about this process, because I did bring up relationships, is that I am discovering that I have some beliefs that were not necessarily negative beliefs when I developed them. They were beliefs that served me at that point in time in my life and allowed me to go to my next level. But at the level that I'm at right now, they no longer serve me. And so I need to change those beliefs so that I can replace them with something that serves me from where I am now. So it is okay to change beliefs that you have changed before in the past, because this is about leveling up, and you don't know what you don't know until you know, right? So you're moving into what is the best thing. So here I am, I'm almost 50, and the stuff I came up with even at 40 don't really apply in a lot of areas. Chuck that shit. New beliefs that serve me better from where I am and who I am today. And at 50 or 55, I may do the same thing. I may do the same thing at 56 and 57 and 58. But the truth is, every day I'm changing my belief system. I am willing to see things differently. I am willing to let go of what no longer serves me. And that is the reason you want to change your beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is really, really silly, but I'm going to give you 2 examples, and then we're going to wrap it up for this session. But my mom, growing up, she used to say the word, instead of sink, like a kitchen sink or the bathroom sink, she says zinc with a Z. Right? And as a kid, initially I thought that's how it had to be said. And then school said that's not how it's supposed to be said. And then I went home and told my mom, and she's like, well, but this is how I like it because I like the way it sounds. She also says that she is Thursday instead of thirsty. So I grew up with that, but I intuitively knew it was wrong, and I was okay. I as a child remember saying to her, that's not right, and she agreed and decided that's what she wanted to do anyway. And I accepted her on her terms as a kid, but I decided I hate the way that sounded and I wasn't going to do it, right? And she accepted it. So I had some sense of you do you, I'll do me. That's not right. And even with an authority figure in my life. So you can get beliefs about things from family. There's no ill intent in it, right? Sometimes, with parents and aunts and uncles and situations, they do the best they can with what they have when they have it. I'm saying you've got to let that shit go. So I'm with someone, and he asked me to hand him something, a bull clip, off the floor. And I was like, what the fuck is a bull clip, right? And so he looks at me with like, what are you, stupid? It's the clip right there. And I'm like, the binder clip? And he's like, it's a fucking bull clip, right? So he's got like mad crazy attitude. And this is a person who has a lot of beliefs that have come from family, a lot of his dedication, his everything, his foundation is not really his foundation. His foundation has been clearly given to him by family, other people, and he's just collected them and he's standing on them. And in a lot of ways, the foundation is not good. But in their family, if your foundation is not good, you don't break down the foundation and build a new one. It has to do with how you're standing on, right? So fix you, not the fucking foundation that we gave you as a kid. So there's that. So I said, I don't know why you think this is a bull clip, but if you ever need to order some of these from Staples or any office supply, you will have to look up a binder clip. So he was sarcastic, and then maybe a couple of weeks later, days later, whatever, he came back and he said, you know what? These are binder clips. Duh, right? And he was like, I've gone my entire life, and he too is almost 50, thinking these were bull clips. And I thought, how sad that no one helped you, that no one was willing to share the truth with you about something so small. And then I thought, wow, what a major growth point for this person. Something so small, right, as a binder clip, and what it was called, you were trained to believe your whole life it was something else. And so this, in my mind, is going to be the catalyst that helps them change and really start to investigate everything that is ever said to them from their family. It just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. But It is okay for you to question everything. Everything that you've been taught, everything that has been told to you, everything that you have been required to believe, everything that you have been told about how you feel, how you think, everything. It is okay to question it. It is okay if those old foundational beliefs don't serve you, and you can create new beliefs that serve you, right? So like one of my beliefs is that if it doesn't feel good, it's a fucking lie. It's a fucking lie. And guess what? The whole time I was trying to call and order internet, it didn't feel good. It didn't feel good. It didn't feel good. Because it was a lie. That is not the path I was supposed to be on. So, getting into alignment sometimes is about changing your belief systems, being willing to see things differently, being willing to do things differently, being willing to be wrong, and being open to being right. So do your journaling. I will put the props in the proper order with this module on a button that will download as a PDF for you. I love you guys. Thanks so much for being here. Our next training is going to be about surrendering into alignment.